on your screen gives you an idea of the kind of impact, the force of an impact of this Ford vehicle that, well, the driver of the vehicle, we understand, was killed as it somehow T-boned one of the light rail trains here in the valley this morning. It is our big story because it's caused massive disruptions. I mean, you've got the loss of life to talk about here as well, but the force of the impact was just incredible in terms of how it actually knocked the train right off the tracks. That's our big story of the morning. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll be live with Irene Snyder, who's been doing a great job covering that full story this morning, what we need to know. And as you well know, when there's a fatality involved, the investigative work, everything just takes a lot longer. They've got to make sure that they are dotting their I's and crossing their T's. This is Fox 10 Talks. We're on now for 2 hours. And we thank you for spending some time with us. We are going to get right to our poll question. If you haven't had a chance to vote yet, there's the QR code. We would love to get your input on this. How far should the U.S. go in its conflict with Venezuela? 33% saying we've already gone too far. 56% say continue the attacks on the drug boats, but don't go any further. And then 11% say, you know, if it's necessary, if it means war, the U.S. military can handle it in order to get the drugs out and get Maduro out as well. So there's the QR code. Again, we would love to get your opinion on what you think about the question of the day. All right, so let's get on now to our report with Irene Snyder, who joins us on the phone this morning. Irene, you've been out there now since we first got word. Just give us a couple of the basic details. When did the accident happen involving the light rail, and can you kind of pinpoint for us where it was?
Sure, Ron. Yeah, this happened around 5 o'clock this morning. At least that's when the Phoenix Fire Department got the call. So it was at the intersection of Indian School and Central in Phoenix. So they said that 4 people were taken to the hospital. They also said that, as you mentioned, the driver of the the pickup truck is the one who died as a result of his injury. So, I mean, they were not able to answer any questions as far as speed, but you can kind of imagine, you know, how fast it might have been going to actually knock the train off the tracks. So, you know, it was southbound, the B-line train off Indian School and Central Avenue. That train got derailed, according to Valley Metro. They said that it's impacting the area, too, for people who are driving in the area, people who were relying on taking that way to work in the morning. The northbound and southbound trains not able to travel between Camelback Road and Central Avenue, also Thomas Road and Central Avenue. So they've had shuttle buses transporting riders. But, I mean, taking a look at some of that video that I know you've seen all morning, I've been out there all morning, it's just incredible the impact of that truck this morning, that pickup truck. When we first got out there, they didn't tell us who was the person who died. They just confirmed it was not anyone inside the light rail. But I mean, we could kind of assume just by looking at the state of that truck that it was probably the person in there. And then a couple hours later, they confirmed it was the person who was driving that vehicle who passed away at the scene.
All right. Now, there's been a lot of focus on the truck. Can you describe the damage that you saw to the actual light rail train? I mean, we've seen some crashes in the past, but it looks like it really did a number on the train itself.
I mean, it definitely had plenty of dents on the side, but thankfully it wasn't like the whole train was toppled over. But I mean, you can see obviously the damage it did to that truck. I mean, the truck was completely smashed when it went into the light rail. The light rail itself, it had a bunch of dents on the side. It was pushed off of the track, so it was derailed. But I mean, thankfully, people on the light rail, they said that there were 4 people who were injured. They didn't confirm where those people were at the time. You think maybe they were on the light rail, but it was early in the morning, one of their first trains of the morning too, that I believe. So I don't know how many people were on the light rail, but there were 4 people taken to the hospital and a couple others that were still injured that just didn't want to go to the hospital. So you can think of the impact that people, if they were inside that light rail and they got hit, I mean, usually you think you're pretty protected in something like that, but they got hit pretty hard, you have to think.
Yeah, you can tell, Irene, towards that front end of the train where it was hit. And so it's almost, we're still waiting for details, right, on the investigation. But any preliminary thoughts or comments from authorities out there in terms of whether or not they think someone was trying to run a red light or, anything like that?
No, they weren't able to give us any of that kind of speculation or information. They said, when we got there, I think within an hour, some detectives arrived on scene at some point too. They brought out a lot of command vehicles and they had them blocking off the area, so we couldn't even see the truck at that point. We had already gotten some footage of it that we showed with you guys. I'm sure you're sharing it now as well. But we were all talking amongst ourselves, all the reporters out there, the photographers, and we don't know if someone was trying to run a light or not, but you can kind of assume it looked like speeding was probably a factor in this. I don't want to assume, but you can kind of, just based on the impact, I can't imagine a person was going that slow to make that kind of impact on the light rail.
Yeah. So I don't know why, but somehow I was visualizing that it was going northbound. You're saying the train was going southbound. And so was it right at Indian School or one of the other cross streets? And would that have been the eastbound or the westbound lanes of Indian School? I realize everything's closed there because there's a fatality, but what do you say about that?
The truck was going east. The truck was going east, but the pickup truck that collided with it, the pickup truck was going east, but the actual light rail was a southbound beeline. That's off the Indian School and Central Avenue. That's the one that got derailed.
And how far was this? Is another thing I was trying to gauge. I know Celeste we were really looking at your pictures and your reporting was excellent today. But how far from the intersection would you base where the truck was? Obviously, the train goes off the tracks. It's going to come to a screeching halt. Is it? I can't quite tell. Is it like 100 feet from the actual intersection or less? What would you say?
It was about one full train length south of the intersection.
Okay.
That's probably about the distance that it was, yeah.
So you have...
Or one car length, maybe.
We don't entirely know, right? You have the light rail station just north of Indian School, south and northbound. We don't entirely know if that light rail had made a stop at that light rail station, but we do know it was traveling southbound, you say, right?
Yes, it was a southbound beeline train. Yes.
Yeah. And then you're right. That truck it looks as though coming from the westbound, heading eastbound. And it's unfortunate too, I think, Irene, and you know this as well from being out in the field. Sometimes at those stoplights, when you have the light rail cruising down Central, you've got to be patient because the lights change or they'll, be longer than normal to allow that the light rail through.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, some of the lights definitely might take a while, so I don't know what the circumstances were leading up to this point, but I imagine we'll find out more information. So, Go ahead, Ron.
I'm just wondering about the injury. So we know there was a fatality in the truck. Was anybody else in the truck? Have you heard about that or all?
No, he was a sole occupant. They said sole occupant in the truck.
Is there one person that we believe is in very bad shape in terms of the injury that was just jostled about on the train?
So they didn't have a public information officer come out to speak with us directly. A lot of the information we were getting from people was from press releases. So we weren't able to ask a whole lot of follow-up questions. Yeah. But initially when the police department first released information, they said there were a couple people who were critical taken to the hospital. And then one person in, some injuries, but not life-threatening, non-life-threatening injuries taken to the hospital. A couple other people treated on scene, non-life-threatening injuries who refused to go to the hospital. Then maybe an hour or two later, they sent out another release with some more information about the fact that the driver of the pickup truck died. And then they also said that there were 4 people taken to the hospital. And then in that case, they said that they were precautionary. Okay. So it changed a little bit. It went from critical and then they said precautionary. So I'm not sure the extent of the injuries in that case. Irene, that's the wording that they used.
Okay. Excellent reporting. Thanks very much for your time. Doing a great job out there. And it's tragic. There's loss of life, but then you got innocent people riding the train that are in really bad shape in the hospital. Irene, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, and then, it's interesting because we actually had an interview set up with the folks at Valley Metro today, and they said, as due to the nature of this crash and such serious injuries, but some of the questions, when we do finally get a chance, Celeste, to talk with them, that we're going to want to know about is, well, what's the protocol in place anytime a train gets knocked off the tracks?
Right.
And just logistically speaking, how do you get another? I'm sure they have a bunch of backup cars, but what's the process you go through to get the whole system up and running again? I'm sure you got to check for damage within the infrastructure of the rails itself, and then get other vehicles set and ready to go. And it's all happening on what is expected tomorrow to be one of the busiest days of the year for the light rail trains.
Well, and that was initially why we had scheduled to have them on today, was to talk about the light rail system that's free, that begins tomorrow. And I believe it's 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. on the light rail tomorrow. It's absolutely free. You don't need to download anything. You don't need to do anything. You just hop on the train. They're hoping, obviously, to make sure that you get home safe. And so initially we had that scheduled, but now they're all, of course, focused on this investigation. The issue is there's a 38.5 mile long rails set up. Yeah,
from East Mesa all the way up toward Metro Center.
At Dunlap.
Yes.
Yeah, Dunlap in the 17.
Yeah.
And so right there at Central and Indian School, you of course have a situation where they've had to now shuttle
with the
passengers
buses
back and forth to the different stations, because that's the way it gets west.
Yeah.
That's I believe, anyway, the only way it gets west. And, for folks heading either South Phoenix or to East Mesa, you go through Cityscape. If you're going through South Phoenix, that's what you're looking at right here. It's one of the newest extensions there of light rail. But it's just unfortunate. Someone lost their life.
Oh, gosh, yes.
And other people were injured.
And I also think it's a good reminder, frequently when we have early morning crashes, there's been drinking involved. In this case, we have no idea. We'll find out more in the coming days. But because tomorrow is New Year's Eve, we just wanted to mention that Waymo, they are offering discounts on their rides right through New Year's Day. So, the difference between getting in a car drunk and getting in a crash, or just getting pulled over and arrested and having that criminal activity on your record for the rest of your life, versus spending a few bucks and now getting a discount from Waymo. And they have a code that's called Safe Holidays for the first 2,500 users.
Way to go, Waymo.
Oh, Celeste, you just created a new slogan is what you did. Hey, we're glad that you are hanging out with us, but now it's time for the Mystery Cam. We'll be right back. Oh, Celeste, I just love seeing our regulars jump in with all of their guesses here. By the way, eZippy Pro, I think, is one of our newer commentators. Hello, eZippy.
Yes.
Saying, is anybody ridden in a Waymo? By the way, if you want to say hi, welcome to the friendliest chat online, my friend, and tell us where you're watching from this morning, which always it confuses me, Celeste, because it's happening at the same time that we're doing the mystery camp.
Yes.
So then I'm like, okay, eZippy, tell us where you're watching from. And then I glance up and I see Texas-Arkansas border.
Yeah.
But then I realized that's not where eZippy is. That's the mystery camp.
It could be.
Possibly.
So that would be Texarkana,
It
right?
would be Texarkana.
Isn't that crazy how that part of the border or for the border for those states?
Yeah.
Like Floribama, Texarkana.
Yeah.
Era Mexico.
Era Mexico.
Or
Eratah.
Or Utah-zona.
Yeah,
Utah-zona.
sure. How about Arifornia? It's getting weird, Celeste. It's
Welcome
getting
back,
weird.
Ron. Welcome back, Ron, to the weirdness.
Very much.
Can we just say good morning to all of everyone on here? I love the comment. I believe it's Lil Philosophy.
Yes.
Had a wonderful good morning. He says there are security on light rails actually at some point. I think he made, but Lil Philosophy said, "Hola, Charles, Louie, Husky Mom, Halakita, Jesus, Celeste, eZippy, Chris, Rold, and Adriana."
Wow.
So we have a lot of people on here this morning. Welcome.
I was also seeing Shaylin 81. She's also one of our newer commentators. Good morning from me and my 9-year-old daughter, Evie. We love our Fox 10 News. Shaylin, we love you hanging out with us. This is a great way to spend an hour or possibly more.
Yeah, or you could just throw it on and listen to it while you're cleaning the kitchen.
Yep.
You know, or
that's a nonstop job. It never ends.
It never ends. I actually posted something on Instagram the other day. It was like, and this is for all you mamas and papas out there too. You know exactly what this is. It doesn't matter if you eat out, if you call it in.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I know where you're going with this.
Will always need to be cleaned.
I know.
Always.
Oh, that is a great opportunity for inviting you to stick around in about, 20 minutes or so. We're going to talk about our favorite foods for New Year's Eve.
Yes.
And I have a perfect example of how the best laid plans can get a little messy.
But they're delicious.
They're delicious. At least it didn't end up on the floor, but I mean,
but in your mouth,
be challenging.
Like it was a delicious little yummy snack.
Okay, let's see. Anyway, are you going to go with Texarkana? I kind of like that one.
I think I'm going to go with Texarkana. We have some very smart people in the chat.
Okay. Well, so you're going Texas. You'll win with Texas or Arkansas. It doesn't matter which state you want to choose.
Yeah, I want to go Texarkana.
I actually would love it if that street right down the middle is the difference between Texas on one side and Arkansas.
Well, maybe that's why. Is that a double yellow?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no crossing into the other state. You just imagine you're on your phone, you weave over about a foot, you're in Arkansas all of a sudden.
And your mom, and you're talking to your wife or your mom, and they're like, "Where are you?" "I'm in Arkansas."
Yeah.
"I mean, I'm in Texas."
I'm in a completely different state.
The sales tax would be different on different parts of the street.
Sorry, I just one of these cams is labeled two shot. I keep
Ron, we could just leave it on this shot. Look how beautiful that sky. We live in a beautiful city. You know that, Ron? We live in a really, you know, we've been talking about the crazy weather and all the travel delays. And if you've been stuck in it, your family's been stuck in it. It has been a nightmare, but some of the people that we chatted with at Sky Harbor, they were just so grateful to be in a place that's sunny and doesn't have any weather delays.
So let me ask you this question. I'm not saying there's a conspiracy with the airlines. I'm not saying that.
Okay, Ron.
But I think the government, and we all know this from back in the days of COVID,
yes,
they gave billions to these airlines.
Yeah.
Right? My question is, I get that the great airline system in the country was put together a long time ago, mostly like in the 40s and 50s.
Right.
TWA, Pan Am, all these others. But since that time, they have now developed trains that go 300 miles an hour. Imagine not having to go through all of the hassle of Sky Harbor.
Right.
And the parking and the traffic, and you're backed up, and you're just trying to get around Terminal 4 to get over to Terminal 3, and then you got to load your bags, and they want you there 2 hours early.
Yeah.
2 hours early. Imagine if you could catch a train in downtown Phoenix.
Yes.
And an hour later, you're getting off in Orange County.
Wow.
300 miles
An hour? An hour later?
Yes. And you wouldn't have to go with all those hassles.
Wow.
So you tell me why we don't have better fast trains. I get it, in the old days of Amtrak and even today, chug, 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 we're doing 40 miles an hour. But look around the world at these fast 250 mile an hour, 3 hour trains.
Okay, so
300.
two things.
Yeah.
One, I'm going to answer your question on with my opinion.
Please.
But two is, I want to throw this into the chat and let us know whether or not you would ride a 300 mile per hour train to Orange County from Phoenix.
Yeah.
That sounds almost as daunting as like a self-driving car.
Well, now I will just tell you one thing about that, Celeste. So in China, we got on a train. It wasn't going that fast, but I think it was going about 220 miles an hour.
Could you feel it in your belly?
No, that's the thing. It's like, it goes like this.
It's quiet. Nice.
And you're just taking off, and you're like, "Are we really going?"
Isn't there somewhere with an underwater one too in Europe? Is it Europe has an underwater from
so.
England? Is it or?
Yes, the channel. The train goes through the channel.
Yes,
Celeste.
yes.
You're very wise.
We need to talk more about the channel. But what I will say is that I think the reason why we haven't seen more of the trains, which Ron, you're brilliant. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
because of the lobbyists.
This is what I was about to say. I honestly think there's something going on.
Yeah, I think it's the lobbyists. And kudos, of course, there's some good lobbyists out there. And so, I mean, here's the thing is that that's their job is to lobby for the company that's paying their bills, But that's why I think, because they're saying we need the airlines, we need this, I know. Yeah.
Well,
but maybe we should lobby for the train.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you got 4 inches of snow at the airport.
Yeah.
Just so hop on the train and get to L.A. in an hour.
That's true.
Or Salt Lake in 3 hours, or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
2 hours. Anyway, okay, Celeste, let's move on, shall we?
Let's do it, buddy.
All right.
Mother.
Yes.
I was going to go Mother Nature.
Oh, we have to have the answer.
We have to have the mystery cam. Okay, so let's talk. Let me repeat some of these because we kind of got off on a little tangent there.
Yeah, we did.
Which is normal because that's kind of how we do.
That's how we roll.
Okay, so we have a couple of different. We have Texarkana that is coming from the Nodim. Are you new to the chat? If you are, welcome.
We have a bunch of new people today.
Yes.
I absolutely love that.
It's so wonderful.
So cool.
Okay, what are you going with, Ron?
All right, I'm going to go. Are you going Texas?
I'm going to go Texarkana.
I'm going Arkansas.
Okay.
That way, if we're correct, either one of us, we both win in a strange way.
Okay, we've got Oklahoma from Charles David, New Mexico from Little Philosophy as well.
Yep.
So here is your answer, and it is Texarkana, Arkansas.
Nice.
So technically, Ron, we both won.
Yeah.
Because there's Texarkana.
Yes.
And there's Arkansas.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. But this is the problem with some of our mystery cams. We have a camera that's focused on the skyline of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yes.
But it says like some little town in Kentucky.
Oh,
because the camera's right across the river.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's a little misleading.
Yeah.
So who knows? The camera could be on the Arkansas side, but all the cars are parked on the Texas side.
Yeah,
it's just a possibility.
This is such a crazy deal.
Yeah, it is. We're just hanging out and having fun. It's Ron and Celeste, and coming up in a few minutes, the Bella Fan Club will be celebrating. Did she make an appearance on yesterday's streaming show?
No, because I will tell you, and I want to say a big, I'm going to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who hung out here. From 11:30 to 12, it was, I was here solo and chatting with all of you, which were amazing, because Ron, you were off.
Yes.
Desiree is off.
Yeah.
And so I was here hanging, and Bells was in here, and for like the last 20 minutes.
There she is,
hey,
everybody.
Bells.
You know who we're talking about. And she's also producing because Dave's out this week.
Well, that's what I mean. So
Amazing.
Bells and I were holding down the fort.
Yeah.
and all of you hung out. Bells and I were looking at the numbers, and we were very grateful. You all are so forgiving, and we had a couple of technical difficulties, as does happen when you're dealing with either live streaming, live TV. So yeah, it was pretty spectacular. But she's joining today. Bells is going to join us today.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, in just a few minutes. Hey, by the way, so let me go right to this next graphic, everybody. It is National Bacon Day.
Woohoo! This is the best day ever.
And so I don't want to confuse you guys. The QR code is from earlier on the TV side. I mean, I guess you could still vote on it. But mostly we use the QR code around here for our controversial poll questions.
Yes.
But this was the fun one on TV today on National Bacon Day. Did you ever announce to the audience, Celeste, which of these are you 2 or a 4 or a 6 or what are you?
I'm a 4 or 5 fan.
Me too.
Yeah, 4 or 5. I'm not a fan of like limp bacon. Don't give me none of that stuff.
No. One doesn't even look like it was cooked.
It looks raw.
It does, which would be bad.
It was oinking.
Yeah. I like it crispy. Obviously, I don't like it burnt like 6, but I'm between a 4 and a 5. So 57% said that's their choice is number 4, and then another 32% said 5.
So delicious.
I mean, that is close to 90% of the audience right there. You guys we're right there with you, that's for sure.
Yes.
So, but is bacon a kind of a big thing at your house or no?
It's a huge thing. Yeah. It's a huge thing. And I actually, and let us know in the chat, how do you make your bacon?
Oh, yeah.
Some people do it. Well, you can buy it pre-cooked now in the grocery store.
And
some people like that.
Right?
Microwave it.
Yeah, sure.
Cook it on the stovetop. Yep. I recently have liked to bake it.
Okay.
You just can't forget about it because then it'll end up really crispy.
Yeah, they will.
But
the smell.
Oh my goodness!
The kitchen.
And on Christmas morning last week, we do Christmas Eve were tamales, which a lot of you know. We talked about that tamales for my Mexican heritage, and then my husband is Scandinavian, so we do Swedish pancakes, which are like crepes, on Christmas morning with extra crispy bacon.
Oh, perfect!
And
you need that.
You need it
because the Swedish pancakes are kind of gooey.
Yeah, so you need like a sweet and salty. It's like a sweet and salty.
You need the gooey and the crunchy.
Yeah, it's so good. Right. Yeah, bacon's big in your house too, Ron.
Yeah, it is. We mostly go with the microwave version, but every once in a while, we pull out the big old slab. And go to town.
I was waiting for you to say we pull out the hog and cut it fresh.
Yeah. Apparently, the HOA has a problem with that.
Well, Ron,
I tried to buy a pig once, and they're like, if you continue down this road.
Ron, rules were made to be broken.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So let's get right on to our report today from Madeline Rivera, one of our great Fox reporters.
Let's do it.
She's in this week for Doug Luzader. And here is just a little bit of her report today on kind of the I guess you could say the intensifying conflict with Venezuela.
All right, let's go.
Ron, the Trump administration has not backed down from what it says is an anti-drug trafficking campaign, despite questions over whether these both strikes are legal. Now it's taken another action in what can be seen as a major escalation against Venezuela. The U.S. has conducted most of its operation in international waters, from targeting boats that they say are carrying drugs to seizing oil tankers. But it appears the U.S. has carried out the first known land strike in Venezuela. The president giving more details about something he first mentioned last week in a radio interview, saying they hit a facility where ships come from.
There was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. They load the boats up with drugs, so we hit all the boats, and now we hit the area. It's the implementation area. That's where they implement, and that is no longer around.
The president did not say whether the strike was conducted by the military or the CIA. The Pentagon referred our questions to the White House. Meantime, the president is also continuing his tough talk against Hamas, one of the issues he and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu covered in their meeting yesterday.
We talked about Hamas and we talked about disarmament. And they're going to be given a very short period of time to disarm. And we'll see how that works out. Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be in charge of that from our side. But if they don't disarm, as they agreed to do, they agreed to it, and then they'll be held to pay.
President Trump is also not ruling out more military action against Iran. Netanyahu is reportedly concerned Iran may be ramping up production of its ballistic missile program.
We know exactly where they're going, what they're doing, and I hope they're not doing it because we don't want to waste the fuel on a B-2. It's a 37-hour trip both ways.
Despite the warning, President Trump says he would be open to bilateral talks with Tehran. Ron.
So, Madeline, if it does turn out that this was a CIA operation using a drone, that to me would be just kind of a fascinating development. I mean, we're used to, if there's military action, we're used to it coming from the Pentagon. Has there been any response from the Venezuelan regime to this? This is a new escalation. It's a strike on land.
You know, it's interesting, Ron. We have not seen anything from Venezuela regarding this alleged strike on a facility in their country. We do know that Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has been very upset with all the actions that the U.S. has been taking lately, like, for example, the seizure of the oil tankers, which Maduro has called theft. It is interesting if it is confirmed that the CIA conducted this operation. I think it's notable that President Trump said weeks ago that he authorized the CIA to conduct covert operations. No confirmation from the agency. We also reached out to the Pentagon, and they referred us back to the White House. So it appears that they are staying very mum on these details for now. Even the president yesterday really didn't share too much. But it would be interesting. And it, again, like you said, Ron, this would be a different front in this entire campaign so far, Ron.
Great report. Madeline, thanks. Okay, so now we're going to jump right into the poll question, and we would love to get your input on it. The numbers, Celeste, have really been moving around. On the QR code,
yes,
17% are saying we have already gone too far. The question, how far should we go in the conflict with Venezuela? 17%. We've already gone too far. Stop. Almost 30% say continue the way it's going with the attacks on the drug boats, but go no further. And yet more than 50% are green lighting if it's necessary to once and for all stop this drug trade. Narco-terrorism is what it's called, the fentanyl that's coming into our nation. If it's necessary to stop the drugs and get Maduro out, the United States military would be able to get the job done. That's 54%. So we'll leave that QR code up there for about 5 more seconds. And we would love to know your opinion on it. We're going to get to Bella in a second but with your comments. But first, Celeste, what are you seeing?
Yeah, this is interesting. I just refreshed it, 2.1 thousand votes. On the screen, it's 1.2, but I refreshed it on my computer. Let's get right to the percentages. We've already gone too far, so it's time to stop. Yeah. That one is winning, 65%. Okay. So overwhelmingly, people who are voting on YouTube are saying, "Hey, we got to stop right now." The other ones, 14% say continue, 21% say full on war. But do we want to get to Belle's now? We have 161 comments on this. This is crazy.
Bella, I'm trying to recall. Did you post that on YouTube a little more than an hour ago? Was it around like 9:15, 9:20, somewhere in there?
Exactly an hour ago. Yes.
1 hour ago. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, so that's an overwhelming response. What are you seeing, though, when you're looking through comments?
Yeah, I do think that the comments reflect the voting, as Celeste touched on. A couple of comments I will read. Charles David, 5137, says, "I'm not really sure what the strategy is here, but this seems way off of our traditional character." Ann Hutchinson, 5770, says, "Just more bankers' wars because wars generate profit, and there's your sign." William Adjinson says it has to be completely finished, otherwise it will never stop. The cancer will keep coming back. And one more, Elmer Fudd, 6740, says the warheads will continue until the boats stop coming, and I love it.
Okay. All right. Lots of really great comments, as always, and we always try to present a wide variety of opinion. Celeste, I thought maybe what we could do, since we have Bella with us, is to get your comment and her comment on what I thought was probably the video of the day. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but ready? We're going to roll it. In New York City, they've been getting snow the last few days, and it's cold there.
Yes.
And this one lonely coyote ventures out on the ice. Look at the skyline of Manhattan over there to the left. Nobody else
Is this
out
in
on the
Central
ice.
Park? It
It's
looks like,
in Central Park.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
This is really spectacular. He's probably thinking, where am I?
I know.
What is happening?
Am I in Oz?
I mean, we have coyotes here in Arizona, but you don't hear about them in New York City.
Do you ever get any sightings in your neighborhood? Because I'm going to tell you, my daughter Michelle and her husband Nick were in town the last couple of days. They went out for a walk around the neighborhood because I'm out in East Mesa near the desert. There was a coyote within 100 feet of them.
Wow.
We
get them downtown. And you live, Ron, what's is it the Santans just south of you?
Yeah.
And then you have, what are the mountains?
We're north of, that's right. They're south of us, right? And then the Supers are to the east.
Yeah. And so I think you have situations where the Phoenix area, we've been booming for a long time in the outline areas.
Yeah.
And they just have nowhere else to go. So they end up in the city.
That's exactly right, Bella. I'm sure you saw some in Tucson.
Yes.
Since you've moved here to the valley, have you had any close encounters with
I haven't, but when I lived in Tucson, I saw them on a weekly basis.
Really? Yeah, because the Catalinas are right on the edge of town.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a sight that is with the coyote. That was a great video.
Yeah, it was. Okay. So here's what I propose, ladies.
Okay.
Let's take one more break.
Ron, don't propose to me. I'm already married.
You're already taken? But we have Bella coming up. Here's what's coming up. Why are cars being confused by the flex lanes? And then what are your favorite foods for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? We have a few suggestions. And then we are going to reveal to you who's going to win the Sun Bowl tomorrow. The Blue Devils
or the Sun Devils.
The Battle of the Devils. Love the coyote chat here. Darla is saying, these coyotes, they go literally right on the outside of our property fence. They're on all sides of us. I have dirty lots around me here in the desert life of Golden Valley. Yeah, I can imagine. That whole area, it is really, I love that area up around Oatman.
Oh,
and Kingman. And then when you drop down toward Needles, California. We don't talk about it a lot, but we should, because Darla is by far one of our most loyal viewers.
I know, she is. And thank you to all the likes. And I just noticed some hearts popping up in the
those
chat.
are loves. That's
Ron.
beyond like.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
You know, speaking of love, there is a new matcha place called La La Land at Kierland.
Oh.
Have you seen this on TikTok, Bells? So they're in LA, and what they say to you when you leave, we love you. We love you. We love you.
Oh, they really?
They say that.
Does it make you uncomfortable?
And
at all,
I was like, do you really though?
right.
You don't know me.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
But it was really sweet. And by the way, we waited an hour because they have a soft opening.
Yeah.
My 13-year-old was like, Mom, can we wait in line? We went over the weekend. We did that.
And it's what do they sell there?
They're matcha, like green, and they have some coffee drinks, but it's like one of those like trendy things.
Yeah.
But I thought it's interesting, you know, like if you met a stranger in a grocery store, how would you feel if somebody said, I love you?
I would feel uncomfortable. Although I'm gonna go ahead and propose it at my gym. You know, when I'm leaving, or even when I'm walking in, try to give them the phone for the code. You know, hey, we love you. I'll be like, why?
If you love me, give me a free membership, and then we'll talk.
That's really good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That's
okay.
good though at the gym.
Well, anyway, let's talk about, you guys, the flex lanes.
Yes.
And I have loved this idea since I moved here over 40 years ago. There's a freeway where I used to live up in Seattle nearby that goes northbound lanes, southbound lanes, and they change them out every day from morning to afternoon, wherever the commute is. Bella, you've driven the I-5 1,000 times.
Just a few days ago.
And it works really well.
Yeah.
And so for years, I wondered why they didn't do flex lanes on the 17. They're doing them, but now the problem is we've gone too far, you guys. We have jumped the shark on all of the babysitting that our cars have to do for us.
Yes.
Do you ever just find yourself almost like fighting your steering wheel?
Yeah, you're having to like jerk it over a little bit, you know? Yeah.
Okay, well, this is what's happening now. People are just trying to transition onto the flex lanes because they have little dots. Apparently, the way they make these new cars, it's causing problems. Take a listen.
My suspicion in the flex lane is we're trying to go into that lane, veering from our one lane that we're already in. It's seeing all these dots, and now your computer's saying, hey, you're veering out of your lane. We're trying to get you back.
It's not new, but it's much more refined now than it was in the early days, that's for sure. If lane assist is looking for that solid line and it's not there, it goes, hey, where are you at? You know, get back in your lane. And so it's doing the right thing, but it doesn't know what flex lane is.
It's not clearly defined with solid lines and a solid yellow line. There's a bunch of dotted lines going everywhere. Our computers can only do so much at a time.
Now you probably would turn off lane assist, and so that would just have to be used during the flex lane. Then you could turn it back on when you get back on the conventional highway.
Now, I will say one thing, which is that I've always found that if you, by the way, ADOT doesn't manage in-vehicle nav systems. We'll follow up with car manufacturers to encourage them to update their nav software. But it always goes away if you put your blinker on.
Yes, it does.
So I think the solution to this whole conundrum is if you're and have either of you guys taken the flex lanes yet going north?
I love it. I love them.
Okay, let's hear your story, Celeste.
Well,
was that you zipping right up the 17?
I was heading up so quick, Ron. I was going faster than that train you were talking about earlier in the show.
Yeah.
You know, the flex lanes, I actually think it's such an amazing idea.
Yeah.
It really is. You know what I think though that's coming next?
What's that?
A toll. I think the long-term plan on this, because if you drive through California, you know, it was reminding me of the areas through Orange County and Riverside.
Sure.
And,
where everything's a toll now.
Everything's a toll. To get anywhere quickly is a toll. And so as I'm driving through the flex lane, and I was thinking, I wonder if in the 10-year plan they were thinking to use a toll here, because it's very similar to that.
Yeah, I hope we don't start going down that road. It's all over the place when you drive in Dallas. You ever try to drive in Dallas? I mean, you're like, oh man, everything's a toll over here. And I just think we have managed as a state for 100 years to build roads.
Yes.
Because we're already taxed so much. We have all the tax money that gets put in, there's sales tax money specifically designed for roads, and we still keep building them, and we don't turn around and pretend like that money's not coming in from the general fund. So I don't know, these states that are doing it, I don't know. I just wonder about their finances sometimes.
I'm right there with you. We do have a couple of comments here.
Okay.
Darren Lloyd says, I fight with my car all the time. Husky Mom says, oh, those flex lanes. I cannot believe ADOT didn't work with the vehicle manufacturers to update their software, but I have to say it's really killed the traffic in BCC. And so, it actually has helped in a lot of ways. And here's another way to get around it.
Yeah.
Just drive an older vehicle.
No kidding.
Hook up with like a 1985 Honda Civic with no AC.
Correct.
And
No
you're
AC.
and you're not going to have a problem.
My parents were the safest drivers I knew, and they never had anything like that on their cars.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. So the flex lanes, that's controversy, but they're going to get it all worked out. And by the way, if you're having an issue, just use your blinker. You guys, let's talk about New Year's Eve, and let's talk about some of our favorite items that we like to eat at New Year's Eve. Bella, we're going to bring Celeste on first. To talk
Beautiful
about
photo.
What is
Thank you,
that,
sister.
Celeste?
So this is a black-eyed peas recipe. So I just threw it up on Insta as well at Celeste Fox 10 if you want to check out the recipe there.
Nice promotion.
Oh, yes, Ronald. Thank you. Shameless plug. But here is the thing. When my husband and I, when we got married, he said, my grandma Frances used to make this every New Year's Day. Sure. Do you think you can make it? And so I looked for, the highly rated recipes online, and I found a mix between the two. And so I use ham that I have from Christmas, my mother's ham. I put it in the freezer, and I pull that out, and I chop up ham, and I use black-eyed peas and rice and red bell peppers. Ooh. And since it's National Bacon Day, I do top it with crunchy bacon on top. And then I make it with, it's just butter and a good seasoned salt.
That sounds so good. Now, if you were going to go low carb, what would you substitute instead of rice? What would you go with?
Cauliflower.
Oh,
like a cauliflower rice, probably.
Oh,
yeah, that actually is a good idea this year, Ron. I may make that for me.
No. Why don't you bring it in for me? Bella.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe I will. I'll bring it in. We go taste it.
It's a holiday week.
I love it.
So that is kind of ever since, because his grandma Frances made it, I've kind of adopted it and made it every year as well.
That is so cool. I'm sure in the chat we're going to get folks talking about their favorite foods for around New Year's.
We'd love to hear from
It's either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Bella, what was your thought?
So I had to share two photos because we do a lot. So on the left side, my dad will do collard greens, and he's making a brisket this year, but this is a photo of when he made a ham. Collard greens, he's part black, and that's, like
they're
a
so healthy
Southern tradition. It's supposed to represent the wealth, like the green money. And then on the right side, my mom, who's Filipino, she'll do lumpia, which are the egg rolls at the bottom, and that's supposed to kind of represent a gold bar, so also wealth and prosperity. And the noodles, pancit, the long noodles are supposed to represent a long life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing.
And so, what are the sauces there?
Those are like a sweet chili oil sauce, sweet chili for the. They're like egg rolls, but a million times better.
Yeah.
They
also do the black-eyed peas too, but I didn't have a photo.
Oh my gosh.
That looks like an amazing spread, Belle.
Thank
The thing is, Bella, her family lives up in Renton outside of Seattle. Hello to any of our viewers this morning in the PNW. And so someday maybe it'd be a dream for us to be invited up there, Celeste, but it's a long ways away. So I think we're going to have the fallback position is going to be that you bring in your
my black-eyed peas.
But if we ever do a PNW trip, you guys are always welcome.
Oh,
always welcome.
You're
Thank
the best.
you, Belle.
Okay, so my contribution to today's segment is I always think that pasta is a great way to go. Did you notice, by the way, our good friend Rick D'Amico, who was an anchor here for years and years, I know you guys follow him on social media.
Yeah.
He posted the other day that he had his Christmas dinner ready to go with a big bowl of spaghetti and meatballs for Christmas, as is the Italian tradition. I love spaghetti any time of year. I think it would work great during New Year's too. And so I thought maybe we could take the approach. This is a couple of years ago with my little granddaughter Avery. So tell me what you think. Maybe this is the best way to actually eat the spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. That's the best way to eat spaghetti. Get it off the plate and temporarily on the island, and then in your mouth, right?
Oh, look at her face. She's the sweetest.
She's adorable.
She's like, I think I'm doing this right.
Yeah.
Oh,
she sure did. So, yeah, spaghetti always works any time of year.
And you know, I this is going to be perfect for her wedding day. Like when you all create a video when she gets married and meets that special person. Okay. And then, you know, you show this cute video.
Yeah, I love that idea, as a matter of fact.
I was thinking too, just like the Filipinos say, the long spaghetti noodles.
Yes.
Long life.
Long life. Yeah.
So that's great. That's a great thing to eat.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies, before we say our goodbyes, who are we thinking? Are we pretty confident that the Sun Devils are going to beat the Blue Devils? That's tomorrow, right about this time. I think 11 or noon or something like that.
Yeah.
In the Sun Bowl.
I think I'm going to go in with the Sun Devils.
Me too.
Obviously.
Yeah, look at that. Look at the forks up. I'll join that one.
Thank you, Ron.
The odds makers have Duke, who they've lost 5 games already this year.
Really?
They have them favored by 2.5 points.
I wonder why. Who's going to be the QB for ASU? Do we know
that's,
yet?
I think, the main thing.
Yeah.
We know it's not going to be Sam Levitt.
Yeah.
By the way, it's going to be fascinating to see where he goes. I think he's going to like a top 10 type program.
I think he wants
big money.
Yes.
He wants an O-line that's going to do an even better job at protecting him.
Yeah.
That's where, I mean, as a mother of a QB, I have to say, like, you know, if it's the O-line, like, I want them to protect my boy.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll make you Black Eyed Peas O-line.
Wow.
I'll make you
Protect
tamales.
my baby. I'll make you food.
I'll do whatever.
I'll make spaghetti.
I'll make spaghetti.
Okay, break time. Ty and Anita, everybody. They are up in 2 minutes.
Yay. Nice work.
Countdown to the new year. Valley Police Departments across the state are reminding everyone to celebrate responsibly. Listen to this. Last year, statewide DUI patrols over Christmas and New Year's Eve led to nearly 1,400 arrests. That works out to be about 97 arrests a day.
And this year, officers will be out in full force here to keep people safe. Scottsdale Police Officer Aaron Boland joins us live here in studio with more on this. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you both. Yeah.
All right, welcome on in. 11 o'clock, Fox 10 Talks. We're going to keep things rolling here at 11. A busy morning here. Obviously, we are just one day away from
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
It's a big holiday. A lot of people head out and about. And we want to make sure that if you're doing that, not just we're not the only ones who want to make sure, the law enforcement agencies valley-wide want to make sure you stay safe.
So we spoke with Scottsdale PD earlier this morning. They are getting ready to do big saturation to make sure that no drunk drivers are on the roads. And he also did a little breathalyzer test with Syleste this morning. I passed with flying colors. Did Syleste? She did too. Okay. But take a look at what he had to say.
Countdown to the new year. Valley police departments across the state are reminding everyone to celebrate responsibly. Listen to this. Last year, statewide DUI patrols over Christmas and New Year's Eve led to nearly 1,400 arrests. That works out to be about 97 arrests a day.
And this year, officers will be out in full force here to keep people safe. Scottsdale Police Officer Aaron Boland joins us live here in studio with more on this. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you both.
Yeah, good to see you.
We are excited to just remind people to celebrate safely. That's really kind of our message. We want people to go out, have a great time with their family and friends, but make sure they have that plan to get home safely. Have that designated sober driver. Plan to use that ride share. There's even driverless vehicles now, if that's the way you want to go. Just really want to encourage people to have that plan. Future you will appreciate the fact that you had a plan going into your evening before you began to celebrate. We know that alcohol tends to impair judgment first, and that's why we just encourage people to have that plan ahead of time.
Yes.
Make sure you have that designated sober driver, that plan to use a ride share, that plan to get home safely so you don't drive.
And you know, the thing is, I think there's really no excuse now. I mean, they make it so easy. You can hail a car on your mobile app.
Yes.
There really is no excuse for getting behind the wheel if you've had a couple drinks.
Right. DUIs are actually 100% preventable, and you really touched on that right there. There's so many options now that there didn't used to be, that it really is 100% preventable. We just really need people to understand that, take responsibility for that, and just have that plan going into their evening. Again, have a great time. Have a great time with your family and friends, but make sure you don't ruin someone else's time by crashing into them or hurting them. DUI drivers can seriously injure or kill people, and I don't think sometimes we always think about that or realize that, but that's the truth of it.
You know, if we could talk a little bit about the consequences you mentioned. I mean, a vehicle can be used as a weapon, you know.
Correct.
If it's, you know, in the case of a crash or something. Can you touch on the consequences, because it's expensive and you can lose your license?
Correct. So initially, if you are arrested for a DUI, suspicion of DUI, then yes, you'll be going to get processed at least for that evening, potentially go into jail for a short time. With the task forces, you go to that central location for processing, etc. But then yes, you're going to lose your vehicle for a certain period of time, depending on what your blood alcohol level comes back at. You're going to potentially then lose your license, your driving privileges for a period of time as well. And then there's court fees and fines and other things that can stack up on that. So even if your DUI situation doesn't end up in a tragic situation for you or someone else, it still is going to end up with some consequences that are pretty severe, and just no one wants that. And again, it's preventable, and that's really the thing is just let's just not do it, and avoid all that heartache, avoid all of the extra fines and fees and not being able to drive.
So you brought a tool with you.
Yeah. So this is
in our case, a toy.
This is referred to in two ways: as a portable breath tester or a preliminary breath tester. And what it does is it tests for the presence of alcohol.
Coffee.
It can show a number.
What's in your coffee?
Typically, the number that it shows is not admissible in court. But what it does is it helps law enforcement understand: is the impairment I'm now seeing related to just alcohol, or is it drugs, or is this someone under 21? They shouldn't have any alcohol in their body, actually, right? So it just helps to kind of guide the investigation a little bit further. They're fairly simple to use. We just ask that people, I don't know, were you going to do it?
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, yeah, just kind of take a deep breath in, and you're going to wrap your lips around the tube and just blow.
I got to get a picture of this.
Just blow steadily in through it until it clicks. Ready? Okay. Keep going. Yep. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There you go.
What is it?
Triple zeros.
Oh,
of course. Triple zeros, because we're professionals.
I passed.
Yes.
She was worried.
Yeah.
I was
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
Needs to be worried. I wasn't worried. But yes. So, and that's what we hope. And again,
my coffee over here.
The DUI task force
in it
will be going on. New Year's Eve is gonna be the last night. So it's going on. This will be the 16th night. New Year's Eve is the last night for the East Valley DUI task force. I know in Scottsdale we've had over 250 stops. So it's just the 5 officers we've had working at 64 arrests for DUI. DUI already. And so that just represents Scottsdale. So again, celebrate safely, get that designated driver ahead of time, have that plan.
Yeah.
We don't need any more DUIs. Let's have the task force be bored.
All right,
That would be great.
Boland, thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Thanks for coming in.
Happy New Year.
You're next.
Hands up.
Okay, that was amazing. You did well.
Yep.
It's not easy blowing into the wedding. I only know this from a live shot.
I was gonna say, how do you know?
It's from a
Go
similar live shot. We were at the big golf tournament, and Scottsdale PD's like, we're making sure people aren't out there driving intoxicated.
Yeah.
And they're like, why don't you try it? Difficult.
All right, let's move on because obviously this is the time of the year where people make those New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
And
Can
it
you
is so
guess
hard.
what some of the most popular resolutions are?
I'm going to say lose weight or eat better.
Exercise more and lose weight, eat healthier, save money,
And
improve mental health,
okay,
and learn something new.
Oh, that's a good one. So this morning we have Dr. Tyler Vestal. And what is your title exactly, Dr. Vestal?
Yeah, so I'm a psychiatrist at Banner Health. I work with the Banner Medical Group as an outpatient psychiatrist.
Amazing.
So we thought what better person to kind of get some ideas on how to, I guess, make those resolutions and stick to those resolutions than talking to you. So let's talk about this.
Yes.
I heard someone say, and I always think about this at New Year's time when you make those resolutions, do something that is actually attainable.
Yes. So a couple things when we're setting a resolution. The first is making sure that it's a reasonable goal. Oftentimes what people are doing is they're setting a very high expectation, an expectation that very few people could ever meet, right? And what we do when we do that is we end up setting ourselves up for disappointment because we're inevitably, unless you are one of those very, very select few, we're human. We're not always going to be able to measure that mark. And the second thing is making sure that we're setting a very clear goal. Oftentimes you're hearing some of those vague goals, right? Like save more money or get in shape, eat healthier. The problem there is how are you even going to measure that?
Good question.
Oh.
You have to be able to show and be able to measure some of that success. And in addition, if you're creating a specific goal, then that gives you specific actions, specific steps that you can take.
Okay, so if you're saying that you have to see that goal, why do you have to see that goal? How does that give you that positive affirmation, I guess?
Exactly, because as you're starting to meet some of those specific actions along the way, those are some of those smaller wins. Necessary wins, though, because if you're going to try and make a large change, you have to start with some of those specific steps.
Okay, so
and that's giving you that positive reinforcement, which is also very important to the change process.
So losing the weight and get exercising. Let's say exercising is one that, so you don't ever go to the gym, you don't ever work out, you're not very active. So maybe let's say that first month of January, go for what's reasonable? Once a week?
I like 3 days a week.
Okay.
Right. Because think about it. If you're setting more than that and you've missed Monday, you've got exactly.
Smart. I
Only
see.
4 or 5 more days left to put in more than 3 days a week. Yeah. 3 days a week and start with a small amount of time. Actually, even 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Imagine if you're thinking about going to the gym and doing 1 rep, 1 set. If you get there, you're probably going to end up doing more.
Yeah.
'Cause you're there.
But that mental activation energy of trying to get to the gym and just do that is much smaller than saying I'm there for an hour on every machine and have to make it through.
And don't they? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And one more thing about that 3 days a week that I like is, okay, so you've made 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, now guess what? Every extra day is a bonus.
Yeah.
I like
That is
that a
cool.
lot. Okay.
And the other thing I like too is that it takes you a while and you finally get into that like habit making kind of, I guess, of like, this is what I do every day. Eat lunch, then go to the gym or something like that. But you have to get in kind of that habit, right?
Yes. And a big part of that is actually preparing to make that change. So oftentimes what people are doing is they're sort of setting a lofty goal, but not thinking about the steps in order to build that into their schedule, right? So you want to make sure that you've selected a time, that you've actually made that time, and that way you can sort of build it into as part of your routine.
You almost have to make it a priority.
Yeah, you really
right?
do.
So
Yes.
maybe one of I used to say I'm not making resolutions, I'm making goals, but it almost is one and the same. But I'd like to start. I took Spanish for a while and then stopped, and I said I'd like to pick that back up again. But I have to come home and instead of reading this book, I have to pick the Spanish up. I have to make it a priority.
Yes. I like intentions, even sometimes more than goals, especially as we're starting a new year. We've got the entire year to decide what we're going to do. Right now, we're sort of setting what's the layout of the land going to be, right? And so that's why I like starting off with an intention. And then along the way, especially over these first couple weeks, you want to be assessing, how am I doing, right? What adjustments do I need to make in order to better achieve that intention, and then start dive in and set some of those specific goals.
Is it giving up if you change that intention or goal? Like, you know, Ty's like, I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week, and then the first month he only makes it 2 or 1. Is that giving up?
Absolutely not. In fact, not meeting the mark is part of the change process. It's part of the learning experience. It's not about whether or not we've made the goal the first time that we set it. It's what we do after that really matters. We learn from it, and then we make an adjustment. And it's important too, as we're learning from it, not to be overly critical, not to be hard on ourselves, but to take it sort of from a non-judgmental place and say, what can I learn from it? What can I adjust? What can I do the next day?
We've got about a minute and a half left, but I wanted to ask you, on the other side of the token, if you don't make those goals, people can be really hard on themselves too. So how do you kind of tamper those expectations versus reality?
Tamper the expectations?
Well, if you don't make your goal, if you're not fulfilling, you don't want to be so hard on yourself.
Yes. One thing is recognizing that not making the goal is part of the process. Not making the goal is human, right? So readjust. Always be readjusting. And another piece that's crucial to this is also giving yourself credit and planning a reward. So if January 1 is for setting a resolution, February 1st is for setting a reward.
And I heard somewhere that it takes, we have a minute, 21 days to make or break a habit. Is that right? Have you heard that?
Yeah. I think about 3 weeks, more or less.
Okay.
And I think too, when we're thinking about this whole month of January, take a look at it every week. Make those adjustments on a weekly basis. Try to take even a little bit more of that bird's eye view. And it's okay if we get to that 3 weeks that we, like I said, are being flexible with our goals, that we're making that adjustment, that we're changing to something new if we need to.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. Happy New Year.
How do people get a hold of you real quick?
Yeah, so I'm with Banner Health. You can go online to our website, look up psychiatry, and my name and likeness should be there.
All right.
Awesome. Thank
Dr.
you.
Vestal,
Great
thank you so
advice.
much for
We
coming in.
appreciate it. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We're going to take a quick break, and coming up, we have another person from Banner Health. We're talking about dry January. Stay with us. All right, welcome back.
One of your resolutions?
What?
Would you give up any type of recreational alcohol?
Recreational alcohol.
Yeah.
That makes it sound like I'm doing something bad. Recreational alcohol.
I don't mean it's not your job.
Yeah, I can keep the medicinal, but I have to get rid of the recreational.
Yes, you can keep the one that puts you to sleep at night.
Okay.
But if you go to a party for the month of January, you're not going to have any alcohol.
No, but a lot of people do the dry January. And
Thanks.
so we brought JD, the RD.
Hey, that title.
JD Fryer, you are a sports nutritionist and dietitian with Banner Health. We've had you on the show before, so it's great to see you again.
Great to be here again.
Can we start at the very beginning? I want to ask you, what does alcohol do to the body? Why is it not so great to be consuming?
Okay, so it's a perfect question to get into the science of what is actually happening to create a metabolic shift that is not favorable for health. So when you drink alcohol, your body has to break that down in the liver into a byproduct that's a little less toxic called acetate. And acetate is a fuel source that the body has to use to burn off. So while that acetate is in your bloodstream being used as energy, carbohydrates are not being burned optimally. Protein isn't being used for protein synthesis, and fat is not being oxidated.
I have a question. Okay, take me back.
Yes.
And what is it called?
Acetate.
Acetate. So you have that in your
notes.
I know, really. Well, I don't drink alcohol, but if you are not drinking alcohol, your body still has acetate. What does that do? No, it doesn't. The alcohol creates the acetate.
Correct. It's a byproduct from alcohol that the liver delivers, because you have to break that toxin down into a less toxic fuel for your body to burn off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what exactly is that doing to your body? Why are there negative connotations for acetate or any type of alcohol consumption?
Right. So it's causing metabolic disruption. So at a cellular level, you're not able to recover. You're not able to regulate your hormones the same. Your energy levels are depleted. Your mood shifts. Your focus shifts. So even just one drink is going to create a disruption in the metabolic function of the body.
So we're not just talking about getting drunk and hangovers. We're talking about a way deeper effect.
Yeah, vitality, right? And longevity. So if your body's constantly, let's say you're drinking 3-4 times a week, then your body is perpetually in some type of metabolic dysfunction. Ultimately, this is going to create dysfunction that leading to bigger risk, which are like cancer, diseases, and so forth. Because it's something people are doing consistently drinking, because it's definitely normalized.
So when I did a search, I said dry January, and some of the things that came up are benefits of dry January: improved sleep, more energy and fitness, health and weight loss, financial savings, and a mental.
I guess because you're not buying alcohol. I was like, what?
And a mental reset.
Clear.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not buying that $600 pair of shoes.
Or maybe.
But if you're feeling better about yourself too, your mood is shifted, and maybe your resources are being distributed differently.
But those are the things that, some of the different articles talk about, the benefits of participating. I think we had a study that said if you just tamper down on some of the drinking in 1 month, you'll drink less the entire year.
Truth. If you were to stop drinking for even 7 days, you would have better sleep quality and hormone function. So we hear about how hormones, they regulate all. And then if you're, especially at a certain age, especially women, that is disrupting at the level of your estrogen, progesterone, and your testosterone. Alcohol decreases testosterone. And a lot of men
and women.
Yeah, and men and
we're
women.
Not necessarily talking about, we're talking. When you say testosterone, it's like the sex hormone, right?
Yeah, the sex hormone.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't know if there was a difference between that, but...
Nope, that's the one. And it's also disrupting other hormones, like your sleep hormones, your neurotransmitters in the brain, so that allow you to be calm and to think clearly. So alcohol is like at an airport, when they're lined up, all the passengers, and they call priority. You've got your A boarding. You even paid A boarding, and they call alcohol, get on first, because that's taking priority over the metabolism when you consume it. Then your even good quality carbohydrates are coming on second. Fats are coming on second. protein is slowing, is maybe rearing up the back. So this is why protein's recovering the body. And so if you're not recovering well, because your body is preferring to break down the toxic stuff first as part of survival.
Wow. Now, even taking like a week, or rather a month off, can you kind of, I guess, quote unquote, reset your body? Like, will things start bouncing back, like that metabolism, those testosterone, the estrogen, whatever else?
Yes. Your body wants to thrive, but a lot of times we give it the materials to simply survive. So when we start making better decisions and we hold ourselves more accountable and make those hard choices and create some discipline, we certainly will start reaping the benefits. And that's what I love about Sober January, is it gives you an opportunity and then to feel better. And if you start to notice that you're sleeping better, that your mood is better, that your focus is better, your energy is better, your training is better, you actually you're not missing the gym, you're recovering faster from your workouts, you're getting those gains that you're working so hard for, then you're like, there might be some truth to this. Yeah. So we can see the science on paper all day long. We can talk about it, but until we put those shoes on and walk in, and we're not officially on board.
So true, because I used to have like an occasional glass of wine, maybe at dinner or on the weekend. And then I started practicing the yoga, and I would notice that when I went in to practice the yoga, I didn't feel good. Worse than just like, and it felt like it just didn't go hand in hand.
Well, yeah.
And I preferred how I felt without it.
That's wonderful. It's great that you could feel the difference. Sometimes we drink, as a society, a lot of people drink every day. They don't realize how bad they feel until you take it from them, and they're like, or they taper off. Now, I'm not saying that you should never drink alcohol again. It's not an all or none encouragement. It's really about, be curious to see if the alcohol that you are consuming, even if it's small amounts, is impacting your sleep, your mood, your energy, and your training.
Someone in the chat is asking a question, Be Kind Forever, is if you quit drinking, does it continue to cause problems in the future? I guess the drinking that you did do, could there still be, you mentioned the risk for potential cancer and things like that.
Yeah, well, it depends, right? If you've created some diseases along the way while you were drinking, are they reversible? Some are, absolutely. I think the odds are for you more than against you if you stop drinking. You'll age better, you'll have more energy, all the things we talked about, but it is directly linked. Alcohol is directly linked with negative circumstances of the health later on, including dementia and cancer, and those are and heart disease as well.
Sugar, right?
It is a macronutrient and that has zero energy for recovery, where carbs, fats, and protein give you energy for recovery, or the combination of both. So it is considered a macronutrient, but it delivers nothing of benefit. So your body doesn't break it down exactly like a carb, a protein, or a fat, but that's the whole process I was talking about earlier. It has to break it down through a process then to get rid of the super toxicity that it actually is and break it down to a less toxic form of fuel your body can handle.
People are asking, I've got Daryl Lloyd says, that's my New Year's resolution, stop drinking cold turkey. You obviously have probably dealt with individuals coming to you being like, I want to stop drinking. Do you have any tips, tricks for folks? You mentioned it is kind of a social thing. You're going to go to a New Year's Eve party. They're going to be popping bottles of champs. Yeah. And you're going to maybe feel left out if you're not.
Have some Martinellis.
Yeah. So you can make mocktails.
Hit the same.
Mocktails are fun. It's not going to hit the same, but tomorrow is going to hit even better.
Oh, that's good. You should put that on a t-shirt.
I like that.
But it's a habit. Oftentimes people are just just like coffee sometimes can be a habit. It's you wake up, you walk to the coffee machine, you do da.
But I can't live without, I can't get up without my coffee at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, well, you're unique at 2:00 in the morning, but a lot of people feel that like you, absolutely. But then sometimes if we really think about it, we're in this habitual flow of our normal day-to-day stuff. Same for alcohol. Is like, well, we're having a celebration. Let's have a drink. So it's shifting. It's recreating a new habit. It's choosing something different. And at the beginning, as with changing any habit, it's not easy. It has to be intentional.
So maybe instead of having a cranberry and vodka in your hand, you can do cranberry and soda.
Absolutely. Or like you said, the sparkling cider. There's mocktails to be made. there's a lot of beautiful mocktails to be made with using herbs and spices and botanicals and bitters.
You mentioned people who will have a drink at the end of the day just to kind of unwind and mellow out a little bit. But does that alcohol really put you to sleep? My mom, for example, will have a little bit of port wine before she goes to bed because she says it helps her unwind a little bit. But then she's up in a couple of hours.
Yes, she is.
Does it wake you up? Does it put you to sleep?
It does, because for every drink, it puts you to sleep initially because it's soothing, it's calming, it hits that way with the nervous system, right? Like slows down. It's a downer. So then, but the liver is doing the work, right? And so for every drink, it's about an hour for your liver to handle. So to handle one drink, so 6 ounces of wine, 1.5 ounces of liquor, or 12 ounces of beer, 1 hour, your liver's working really hard per drink, okay? So if you have one drink, the liver is going to kick on and start doing some business, which is the acetate, which is a fuel, right? The body's like, okay, we've got some energy here. Let's burn it. So when you eat or you put fuel in the bloodstream, what does it give you? It gives you energy. So are you waking up because of that? Potentially so. Yeah, your body's working really hard to handle it.
I was going to say, I did have a friend that did like a month-long no dry January or whatever. I can't remember what month he did it, but he was saying
for a month.
Yeah, changes, like the physical changes he saw in his body were like enough that he quit drinking altogether because he was like, for the first time I can see abs. You know what I mean?
Inflammation.
Yeah.
You do all together feel better.
Yeah, because the carbs, the proteins, and the fats they're boarding last. They're put on the back burner until acetate is burned up. So that for some people could be several hours. And if you drink every day, that's several hours where your metabolism is jacked up. So of course you're not optimizing fat oxidation. It's not that it stops. Let me be clear that your body says, no fat burning, no carb burning, no protein synthesis. Is slowed. Okay, so if it's slowed, then your recovery is slow, and your gains, the thing that you're wanting to build up, not break down, are going to be slow.
It all makes sense.
Right?
It really does.
Yeah.
How do people get a hold of you? They want more info, a little bit of guidance.
Banner Sports Medicine.
Okay.
I'm in Scottsdale.
I'll be abstaining this January, Ty.
Ty?
Yes, ma'am.
Before you tie one on, before you Anita drink, try a mocktail.
Okay, I'm going to try. I'm going to try a Martinelli's. All right.
That's
Jenny,
right.
They're
good
very
to see
tasty.
you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Rear.
Oh, New Rear. I like it.
Well,
right.
if you abstain, feel me slender.
Ron's next. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
At 11:30 every morning, we welcome you back to more of FTT, and this is Dean's Choice. You know, every day, Dean Fazzini, who operate, he texted me, Celeste, the other day, because I said something like, I bet Dean has 1,000 cameras to choose from.
Mm-hmm. And what
I could go back and look at the text. He said something like 2,140.
Oh, he got specific on you.
Yeah. Oh, he big timed us, let me tell you. We have enough mystery cams now to last, I don't know, about the next 10 years or so.
Wow.
But by 10 years from now, I figure a guy like Justin's going to be running the whole newsroom.
Yeah.
Justin joins us right here.
Oh, man.
Come on, man. Is that in your dreams? You want to be in management or what?
Nah, I already have a lot of white hair, so I don't want to lose my hair.
It actually makes you look more sophisticated.
Right. I've aged. I've aged with all of these investigations.
Yeah,
but anyway, thanks for asking.
By the way, I'll just say that is Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. You guys have heard me tell the story. My mom calls me up about a year after Katrina and says, we're going down with a church group. We're going to try to rebuild houses in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. I'm like, I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
But, the damage from Katrina wasn't just New Orleans. It swept up that coast. It's really a beautiful, beautiful part of our country. Okay, so you just heard the voice of one Justin Lum, and Celeste, it was only this morning that I realized Justin has been off. I've been off for a few days with the holidays and everything else, that Justin has really been spending some time focusing on this wild murder case out of the Pinetop area.
Yeah, and I believe, Justin, it has some California ties as well.
Yes, exactly. So yesterday we went to the Navajo County Sheriff's Office. This was the first time that authorities were finally speaking about this murder arrest. And this is big and significant because the suspect here, 63-year-old Michael Labate, I guess in the agricultural world, he's a farming tycoon.
This guy right here.
Based in El Centro, California. And his name and his lineage, and I said the bloodline of his family, it goes back decades and decades, apparently. Multi-millionaire with the Abadi Farms company. And so his wife is a strange wife. Carrie Ann Abadi is the victim in this murder
place
case.
Up in Pinetop.
This is the Pinetop property. Yeah, it is really beautiful up there. It is quiet, it's serene, 7,000 square feet home. There's a barn, stables, and the
7,000 square foot house?
7,000 square foot.
Wow.
And I believe around 14 acres.
Okay.
Now that just, to me, it's something that we're used to saying right here and where we live in the metro area. But and then you're looking at the El Centro businesses and homes that belong to Abadi. These are where search warrants were executed between November and early December. So there are multiple visits made by the Navajo County Sheriff's Office, several investigative agencies, including the FBI as well. So basically what investigators are saying now, what they believe, they have probable cause to believe that he drove on November 20th to the property, shot and killed Carrie Ann Abadi, and then drove back to El Centro. And that is what they're accusing him of.
I just want to jump on what we saw on the screen there. That was her, or this is a statement from him regarding the whole proceedings that they're going through right now. Is that correct?
So these proceedings went over the last couple of years. These divorce proceedings. It was a big deal about money. Carrie Ann Abadi did not work. She says since 1999 she stopped working. She stopped getting her, I guess, allowance or check from the Abadi Farms. She was a homemaker. And so she says in these documents in 2024 that she needed more alimony. She wanted it to be increased from $5,000 a month to $30,000 a month. Michael Abadi, in his response, is, I can't afford that. He's saying the farming business has been difficult for the past 2 years. He even blamed when the war happening in Ukraine and how European countries were buying crops from Ukraine, not buying from other countries, and other reasons for how his business was basically failing and not doing well. He said that he had not made a net profit from the farm in 2 years. And he just said, if I do comply with paying $30,000 a month, I will be, strapped everywhere else. I will be, in big trouble. So this was back and forth.
This has been dragging out for a year and a half, sounds like.
Since 2023, October 2023 is when the divorce began. We don't know how much. Yeah,
a long time.
And this has happened in the Imperial County Superior Court and Family Court. And I should say that right now he's in custody in jail in the Imperial County Jail. He has not been extradited to Navajo County yet. He waived his extradition, so he's not fighting that. At some point, he'll be brought here, and he's charged with first-degree murder. It took about a month from that investigation, November 20th, when the shooting happened, to get that grand jury indictment 2 days before Christmas, and he was arrested last Tuesday. So it took multiple trips to El Centro, talking to family, friends, co-workers, anyone who knew, anyone that was close to the Abadis in some way in the past years. And divorce was brought up a lot. Now, what's the motive? We still don't have a clear motive. But this was all going on. The court documents are there. I was going through those divorce filings, and money was a big issue.
And in the court documents, I just happened to put his name into AI.
Okay.
And it brought up some information, and maybe obviously it's artificial intelligence and it's aggregating things that you hear or read on the website. But when you look through, and I'll turn it over here this way so you can kind of see it too. But when you read the income underneath this, and of course this is not confirmed, but it said filings from his estranged wife's attorney in the divorce proceedings estimated Michael Abadi's gross monthly income at one point as high as $178,000
per month. Oh, back in the good days.
Probably.
It's
probably
fallen off of that.
Yeah, and so he said it's fallen off, but it talked about his owned a Coachella Energy Storage Partners in 2015. He had a $35 million contract for a battery project with the government or something. And so, so when you mentioned income, I think, unfortunately, it probably goes back to the money that he made and the money that his wife. Okay, so 2 years they've been going through the divorce proceedings. How long has she been missing, or how long? When do we think the crime took place?
The crime happened on November 20th. So she lived at the property, and her nephew also paid rent there. You got this big house
in Pinetop.
So in Pinetop. So it was, we believe, according to authorities, this family member, the nephew, found her with the gunshot wound, called 911, and no suspect was there. So it's a whodunit. The investigation in the scene was secured for 4 days. That's what the sheriff said yesterday. For 4 days, they canvassed this area, talked to different neighbors, and everyone's to themselves. Like, in talking to one neighbor, she said, we just said hi and bye. And she was very
acres,
nice.
You're on your way.
And there's a
way
gate.
That
gate
land.
that you see, then you got to get in and then go down this dirt gravel path. So you're not right there in front of the home. You've got a ways to go. And this neighbor said that she was very nice. Carrie Ann would even tell people that visited her not to drive too fast and not get dirt up on other people's cars. So she was, considerate neighbor, but it was not like she kept to herself from what we told. She just had her family member living there, who was the one who had found her with the gunshot wound. We had reached out to other family members, but even the sheriff's office said they're requesting privacy right now, so we haven't really heard from someone close to Carrie Ann.
Has law enforcement given us any basic information about what ultimately then led them all the way to him and to El Centro?
They said that digital evidence, surveillance video, this is, and it's not super complicated, but you would think they would canvass the neighborhood, talk to neighbors who has, surveillance cameras of a suspect vehicle or anything, and then going to El Centro, questioning him, questioning family and friends. There must be evidence that links him, and we have yet to see that, but links him to, as far as location, from Pinetop to El Centro that day.
There's got still cameras all over
cameras
the place.
everywhere. You're getting tracked
on roads.
What car was he driving? There's so many questions. We still have the case, as far as the court documents, is sealed right now. So we have yet to see the probable cause statement. We have yet to see the indictment. But for them to get a grand jury, they presented evidence to a grand jury, and this involves a Navajo County attorney, to bring that charge of first-degree murder. They believe that there was premeditation to this. And so we still had a lot of questions yesterday for the sheriff, but not a lot of details could be provided besides the timeline of, them going to El Centro between November 30th and December 5th, going basically using a search warrant to raid a business, raid the home, and get all the evidence that they can. And that leads them to believe that he is the one who did this.
So they have this home in Pinetop. Was she from Pinetop?
From what I've read, she's, born and raised, resident of Pinetop, and that her family is very well known and basically were one of the first residents of Pinetop.
Is that
That's
right?
a big deal.
Okay, we'll have to find out her maiden name then, if her family is.
Yeah, I believe that she's also Miss Navajo County pageant winner back in the day.
That's what one of the LA Times has released.
What are they saying her
they said that she
name was before?
They don't have her name before.
Okay, we can dig that up, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Carrie Ann Penrod.
Penrod. Okay.
Yeah, she was prom queen, first violin, Miss Navajo County.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wish we had more time to talk about it. Justin, if you had one headline that came out of the news conference, we're certainly glad that law enforcement spoke yesterday. What would be the headline that came out yesterday at the news conference?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say that it'd be, multi-agency law enforcement effort, leads to arrest of farming mogul and the murder of his estranged wife. I mean, this involved a lot of players. Navajo County Sheriff's Office, I mean, not that they're small by any means, but they're not used to even holding a big press conference like this and having a big high-profile murder case like this. We drove 3 hours to be there just to hear them talk about it. So
I know.
Yeah,
we have viewers up there. It's a beautiful area.
Oh, yeah.
Really
and thank you for all your work on this, Justin. We know that you guys drove a long way up there yesterday.
We're going to get into more of it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys know Justin's reputation. He's going to dig in. He's going to get a lot more of the facts and the details. We always add innocent till proven guilty, of course, but this will be a highly watched. In 10 seconds, Justin, if you had to predict the timeline, any idea when this case would proceed?
Well, he could be brought in at any moment because he waived extradition. He's in the queue, according to Navajo County Sheriff's Office. They just got to go drive to Imperial Valley, pick him up, book him here. We'll get a new mugshot, and then hopefully the case will be unsealed. He'll appear in front of a judge, and this will move on soon.
Okay. What a headline.
Right.
What a story.
What a story.
Justin, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll take a break right now. Take a look, would you, at this image. Somebody getting ready to cross the railroad tracks. No, Celeste, they changed their mind. Look, they're going
to make a Yui.
Swing around here.
They're making a Yui.
Oh, no.
Watch
now
for the guy behind you.
Yeah. Oh, whew. Okay, Mystery Camp time. All right, we're taking a good, hard look at the mystery cam. By the way, Charles David is one of many singing the praises of one Justin Lum, saying simply, speaking for the group, we love Justin.
He's amazing. And Mr. Pavline, 1978, Ron, says, when this show's on, I don't get any work done. You know how many times I got to get up and check my phone. Jeez.
Oh, that's great.
And
Mr.
And then he says, addicted in all caps.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're seeing some Wyoming guesses today. And let's see what else. Low Philosophy is saying Bama.
Mystery cam sheet.
And let's see here.
We got a Tennessee from Husky Mom.
Yeah, we've got Weigold saying maybe South Carolina.
Is Weigold new? Welcome to the feed in the chat, Weigold.
I think so. We have so many. I think it's because we're over the holidays. People are out of their regular routine, and they're like, what's the coolest thing on the internet? Oh, I got it. Foxton Talks.
FTT.
Yeah. All right. So what are you going to go, Celeste?
I'm going to go with, like an Oklahoma.
Okay.
What about you, Ron?
I'm going to go further east. There's something about that old church on the hill that says to me it's more like a Virginia or a Tennessee.
It is kind of an older neighborhood with those power lines.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're locked into Oklahoma.
Oh, dang.
But I'm going to go, I guess I'll go with the hill there. I think I'm going to go, say, maybe like New England.
4,
this is
3.
really stumping me. All right, I'm going to go Massachusetts.
That actually is very, Ron, you're rarely stumped.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't so much stumped. I wanted to say Tennessee. I wanted to say Virginia, but my mind kept pulling me north. So
I wanted to say Knoxville. But anyway.
All right.
Okay, so here is your mystery cam answer.
Right.
Parkville, Missouri.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
Well, you went closest without going over. You were in Oklahoma right next door.
It's, that the Bob Barker rules, right?
Yes, correct. Yes. Okay, what's the name of the town again? Parkville?
Parkville.
I'll have to look that up.
Parkville.
Celeste.
It's probably one of those towns like Flagstaff, separated by the train tracks.
Missouri is on my very short list of states that I will take a week to explore in 2026.
Wow.
So I might have to go through Parkville.
Lucky Missouri.
Oh, boy, they don't know what's coming. All right, so let's talk about our poll question. We're getting so much action on it. Here's the QR code. Great time for you to grab it with your phone if you haven't voted yet. And I love the fact that people are still guessing. Halakita is Pennsylvania. Lisa is Montana. Brandon is Iowa. So, yeah, I mean, we still want to give you guys your props. 32% say we have already gone too far in this whole situation with Venezuela. Stop now. 20% are saying continue about as it's going with the attacks on the drug boats, in the narco-terrorism, but don't go further. Still, the numbers dropped a little bit. I think it was 52 or 53% last hour, but still close to 50% say full-on war if necessary to stop the drugs once and for all and get Maduro out.
Ron, the YouTube numbers are on fire.
All right, let's go there.
2.9 thousand votes. I think we're going to have to go. I just refreshed it, so that's why I have some new numbers.
Oh, so we're almost up to 3,000 votes.
I think we're going to have to do a poll queue requeue tomorrow, potentially, on this one.
Okay, yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
Who's on the arrow? Bella, is that you on the arrow right there? See how it's moving up and back? I don't know if we can refresh. We probably can't
Somebody's handling the mouse.
Oh, okay.
But here are the numbers thus far. We've already gone too far. Time to stop. That one is winning with 64%.
Oh, let's go back.
14% say continue the attacks, and 23% say full on war. So the exact opposite is winning the poll on YouTube. And now we have 214 comments.
Okay, this is amazing to me. So we have pretty soon we'll be triple the total number of votes here. We're about to pass over 3,000 votes. But the numbers are still almost exactly the same compared to an hour and a half ago. 65% say too far, too much, stop. 21% say if necessary, I'll back war. Bella, what are you seeing?
Yeah, just in the last hour, we've revisited it. There's been over 100 new comments, so I will read some of the new comments I've seen. Dietriak says, I don't think anyone but Trump wants an actual war. Maga Swaga says, it's all for oil interests. The oil companies are probably carving up the deposits right now. Gund89123 says, Venezuela is an immediate threat to the U.S. They are harboring terrorists, communists, and they have weapons of mass destruction. The U.S. could be destroyed in minutes if they want the greatest military power in the world to not be able to defend themselves. And Dennis Stevens, 4722, says, I can't believe the responses on this. Everyone knows someone that has lost a loved one to this fentanyl invasion, and it is what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So lots of different comments.
Gosh, oh yeah.
People are
really
fired up
interesting
about
perspective,
this.
too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can continue to vote. One more time, there's the QR code. We would love to get your opinion on that. Celeste, I'm happy to report that we had a test run for the ball drop.
Yes.
Which is tomorrow night.
Okay.
In New York City. Do you generally stay up to watch it at 10 o'clock?
We stay up to watch New York's.
Yes, right.
And then we go night-night.
Correct. We're all on a crazy schedule. But we were rolling tape when it happened just last hour. And here's the confirmation that everything worked perfectly. Ready? Roll it.
This is an amazing new ball. It's the Centennial Ball. It's the 9th rendition of the ball. There's 5,280 Waterford crystals on the ball. It is 12 and a half feet in diameter, and it weighs over 12,000 pounds.
Talk about the double drop of the ball.
Sure. So I think that's a little bit of a misnomer. So we are partnering with America 250. So at midnight, the ball is going to drop. Actually, 11:59. The ball will descend, and we will ring in 2026. Then at 4 minutes after, the ball will go up again. There'll be a flag reveal on One Times Square. We'll play America the Beautiful, and the ball will be lit in honor of the 250th anniversary of our country.
Which is so cool. There it is, by the way, all the way up at the top of the pole, and now I think you see it moving a little bit. How cool! This is the first time in history that they're going to do the ball drop twice in 1 year.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too. They also did a practice on the confetti release.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm thinking these poor street sweepers
right.
who have to be out there and probably clean it all up.
Yeah.
A couple days before. But, 250 years deserves some precision. America
Yes.
turning 250.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you've been kind of wondering, can you imagine in Philadelphia what kind of a celebration they're going to have?
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, the birthplace of our freedom, where all the founding fathers met and said, okay, I'm signing this Declaration of Independence. So long, King of England.
Oh, my goodness.
There'll be some big, and I'm sure, every 4th of July is spectacular around here.
We should reenact the Declaration of Independence in the chat that went on around.
Good. I thought you were going to say reenact the War of 1776.
No, I was thinking like
the Revolutionary War.
The meetings of the minds where like everybody came together.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? Like,
but would you ever be a reenactor? These people get together every year and they go out on, Valley Forge or Gettysburg.
Do I have to be a soldier? Can I be like a woman screaming in the fields or something? Like,
how about we make you the reporter? I would have loved to have reported on the news like in the 1800s.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, so much going on.
You know what? That is true. That would be cool to be a newspaper reporter back then.
I know. But it's better now on YouTube.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's easier now on YouTube. We're not in the middle of like a field where the war is ongoing.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Okay, so speaking of other parts of the country, did you see, actually, I have not seen this video yet, but I heard the weather was so bad in Detroit yesterday. Let's roll it. This is what rescue after rescue, freeways, cars all smashed up. Look at those guys sliding off the road from big rigs to, look at that guy's car.
Oh, my
Spun,
God.
did a 180 heading in the wrong direction. At least traffic was moving on the other side of the freeway in Detroit. But this, again, is why, Celeste.
Yes.
People move here every single year from places like Minnesota and Michigan.
They do.
I mean, there's a lot to love about it most of the year, but boy, the weather can be pretty wicked.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what was happening in Detroit. And then did you see Buffalo yesterday?
Buffalo, it's been crazy in upstate New York.
Yeah, look at this.
We had a live look from Syracuse this morning as well.
Yeah, that was a great report.
Yeah. So up that way, I feel like and she mentioned this in the live report, folks up there are hardy. They're like many of you from the Midwest.
Sure.
You're kind of used to it. You get like 10 feet of snow and a storm system here and there. And you can see, Ron, the wind blowing.
Wow.
This is crazy. Is that a church? It's beautiful.
I think it's the City Hall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Des has kind of walked me through. She, of course, a beloved member of our news team, is the representative of Buffalo.
She is.
She loves Buffalo.
And you know what else? The Bills. Can you imagine playing football in this weather?
Yeah.
With the Bills there?
Right. By the way, congratulations, Buffalo. They're going to build a new stadium, and they're not going to cover it with a dome.
Oh.
Because this time of year, you have an advantage.
You do.
If you're playing dome teams or other teams from, say, the South, come on up to Buffalo. Let's see how it all goes.
Let's have a December 1st or 21st game. Like, look at Green Bay.
That was my first reaction. Kansas City's going to build a dome, which I hate that. I loved Arrowhead Stadium.
Because they're weak, Ron.
There you go. They're weak. And I said, okay, if that's a road we're going to go down, what's next? Are they going to put a dome over Lambeau Field? They will never do that because they're not weak.
What's next for the Chiefs? What else?
Probably like 7 more Super Bowls.
Are they going to start feeding them like cheese and crackers for snacks?
Yeah,
Are the
no
moms
kidding.
going to cut oranges for halftime of the football game?
You know the funny thing, moms. Okay, who's the designated mom to bring treats in after the Chiefs game? Come on into the locker room. Hey, I love the Chiefs. I love Mahomes.
I do
Andy
too.
Reid just announced yesterday
Yes.
he's coming back for another year.
Yeah.
So they're going to be
We play, we joke, we kid because we love them.
Correct. And we love Buffalo. I really do. I would love to go spend some time there. It's up there by Niagara Falls.
Oh, yeah. It's not too far from Niagara.
No, that's
We
right.
should do a little zip trip up to Buffalo.
Yeah. Celeste, what do you say we wrap up?
Oh, really? Did that 30 minutes go by that fast?
This is the fastest 30 right here. That's for sure.
I mean, you could call this, I know we're called FTT, but you could call us Fast and Furious if you wanted.
Fox 10 talks fast. We could be FTTF.
Yeah. Watch it
Starting-
with the F words, Ron. We'll be
Okay.
right back.
No, we really won't
Oh, yeah, no.
until tomorrow.
Tomorrow.